Hi, my name is Marilee Schmeltzer, and I was fortunate to be chosen for the first group of SGNA scholars. And my research partner was also chosen as an SGNA scholar, which made it really nice because when we went through the training together, we decided that we'd like to do the systematic review together. We'd already been working on many projects. We knew we could get along. We knew we enjoyed working together, and so that was just worked out great for us. So anyway, when we were at the training, we needed to think about a topic to do our systematic review. And as we were discussing, I remembered kind of a mystery I'd encountered when I was working on a guideline about high-level disinfection. I'm on the practice committee for SGNA also, and we were actually revising and reviewing that guideline. So anyway, during the review of the high-level disinfection guideline, we realized that there was one area that we really didn't know enough about. Most of the guidelines are absolutely clear. In fact, everything's absolutely clear except for the very last one, and that has to do with when you store the endoscopes after they've undergone high-level disinfection. And we really found very little evidence about how long the endoscopes could be safely stored before they're used again. So, in other words, when you send a scope through the whole high-level disinfection process, and at the end you store it in a cupboard or cabinet under very specific conditions, how long can you leave it there? Can you leave it there a week and then reuse it on the next patient? Can you leave it there 2 weeks? Or if it's there for a week or 2 weeks, do you have to send that scope through the high-level disinfection process again before you reuse it? So anyway, Glenda and I thought this would be a great topic to do a systematic review, so that's what we chose. And we also got to talking about how we wanted to go about the whole process. Well, during the training at Texas Christian University, we learned that in order to do a systematic review, you needed to do a very broad literature review, collect lots of articles, and you had to keep track of everything. You had to keep track of how many articles you found on your initial search. You had to keep track of which ones you decided to discard or not use and why you decided to do that. And so it was quite a process of keeping track of huge numbers of articles. And this is something that is second nature to a librarian, but to nurses like Glenda and me, it was not really that easy. So we thought, well, it might be a good idea if we recruited a friend of ours who's a librarian to help us. So we asked Helen Howe, who's a librarian at the University of Texas at Arlington, to join our team, and she was thrilled. So that worked out great. Now, in order to do a systematic review, you have to, through the Joanna Briggs Institute, which is the group that we use at SGNA, in order to do that, you have to have training. Well, it's okay to have one person who isn't trained when the other two are. So Glenn and I had both undergone the systematic review training, so that worked out. So anyway, Helen and Glenda and I all wrote our plan for how to do a systematic review. And before you do a systematic review, you have to write out the whole plan of what you're going to do and then send it in to the Joanna Briggs Institute to get it approved. And so we've done that. We've had it reviewed, got feedback, terrific feedback, by the way, and then made the recommended changes, and then we sent it back in, and so we're still waiting to hear if our plan has been approved. So we've made really nice progress. I think there have been a few things that have helped us. One is certainly it's to our benefit that we have Helen on our team with her skills as a librarian. And And the other thing is that Glenda and I have worked together before. We live in the same geographic area, so it makes it very easy for us to get together, and we work on this regularly, so we've kept at it. So that also has been really good. I'd also like to say a little bit about the experience of being an SGNA scholar. First of all, I was thrilled to be chosen to be one, and I thoroughly enjoyed the training that we had at Texas Christian University. There were, I can't remember exactly how many scholars there were in the first group. It was maybe 8 or 10. Anyway, they brought us all together. SGNA brought us all together for the training in Fort Worth, and we spent a week going through the training. So there was a lot of opportunity for us to interact with each other and develop a really good sense of camaraderie and cooperation. And then the other thing about the whole process is, for me, I think it's very exciting to be engaged in an activity with a group of people who are from across the country, or outside the country. So being with the Joanna Briggs Institute and having the interaction with them. They are located in Australia. Anyway, I find that international type of collaboration very appealing. And when we wrote our systematic review plan, we had to be sure that we wrote a plan that could be understood by healthcare providers anywhere in the world, even in places where they don't do endoscopy like they do here in the United States. So that was a challenge, and it was also very fun to do. So anyway, in closing, I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful for this opportunity and am thoroughly enjoying being an SGNA Scholar.